Have you ever felt that spark of excitement when a familiar champion might be knocking on the door of Ford Field once again? Lions news, fan report here, and if you believe Detroit's defense is on the verge of rekindling a winning spirit, hit that like button and subscribe right now to join every twist of this unfolding saga. Picture a veteran edge warrior, someone who's already donned the Honolulu blue and left his mark on our defense, now watching the offseason roll by as he waits for that golden opportunity to return to Motor City. Could this be the moment Brad Holmes dusts off a playbook page he knows all too well? What if the front office, armed with that precious cap space, decides to press hard on a reunion that promises leadership, experience, and those game-changing rushes that send quarterbacks scrambling? As the Lions wrapped up minicamps and the young studs soak in the drills, there's one name swirling through locker room whispers and social feeds, fueling hope that this offseason isn't over until their favored son is back in the huddle. We all remember the midseason heroics, coming off the waiver wire to bolster our pass rush when injuries gnawed at our depth chart. 8 games, 4 sacks, a dozen tackles, a tipped pass rippling through the stands and forcing offenses to rethink their every snap. Even at 32, this pass rusher pushed the pocket with the tenacity of a lion stalking its prey, proving age is just a number when passion and leadership stand front and center. Could it be that the front office, ever the shrewd architects, sees in this veteran not only the immediate upgrade but the mentorship magic he brings to our rising stars? Imagine our rookies watching his every move, absorbing his pocket-crushing techniques and championship hunger, learning what it means to lead both by play and by presence. Here's the twist. He's still on the market, one of the league's most coveted free agents waiting for that one call that says, "Welcome home." Is Brad Holmes ready to roll the dice on a reunion that could catapult Detroit's defense from solid to spectacular? What if this move sparks a chain reaction, forcing division rivals to scramble in free agency while we lock down that edge and send a clear message? We're not just contending, we're hunting. The narrative writes itself. A veteran longing for unfinished business, eyeing that elusive ring he narrowly missed, and a team desperate for a clutch performer who thrives under pressure. Could this reunion be the defining moment that propels the Lions into uncharted territory and into the playoffs? As whispers grow louder, frontline insiders hint that contract talks could hinge on performance incentives, balancing retirement age caution with the promise of playoff glory. Could that savvy structure protect the cap while lighting a fire under his comeback? Detroit's training staff, already lauded for medical wizardry, stands ready to fine-tune his conditioning, ensuring he hits the ground roaring instead of limping in. And let's not overlook the emotional punch. Fans flooding the stands, wearing his jersey again, chanting his name as he lines up across from rookie tackles, a living testament to our faith in loyalty and resilience. But the biggest question looms larger than any stat. Will the Lions pull the trigger before training camp? Or will this promise simmer until after Week 1 when guarantees kick in? Could a late July bombshell announcement reshape the narrative of this season before a single pad touches grass? Detroit's faithful are on the edge of their seats, hearts pounding at the thought of witnessing a homecoming for the ages. As the countdown to that defining decision ticks away, one truth stands clear. Whenever that call drops and those cleats hit Ford Field turf again, it will mark more than a roster move. It will be a declaration that Detroit believes in unfinished legacies and the power of a veteran's roar. If you believe the Lions are on the verge of engineering a defensive renaissance, smash that like button and let's finish what we started. Imagine the roar at Ford Field when Detroit's front four suddenly boasts the ferocity of one of the NFL's premier sack artists, the kind of game-changer who can single-handedly alter an opponent's game plan. Picture offenses penciling in, an extra blocker just to contain him, freeing up our young, explosive defensive ends to feast on clean one-on-one matchups. This isn't fantasy. It could become reality if the Lions land the man we've been hinting at all along, The relentless edge rusher whose 2024 campaign ended with 12 sacks and a reputation for chasing down quarterbacks from sideline to sideline. Detroit's defensive identity, long defined by gritty effort but lacking consistent playmaking punch, would instantly shift from solid to fearsome. The presence of this pass rusher alongside our burgeoning core would send chills through NFC North quarterbacks who already face the precision arm of Jared Goff under center. Historically, Detroit's greatest defensive surges have coincided with signature additions. Think the seismic impact of Ndamukong Suh and the swagger his arrival brought in 2010, or the way Ziggy Ansah's rookie blitz package electrified the city back in 2013. Could this newcomer spark a similar turning point, reigniting the playoff aspirations that have eluded us for too long? In practice reports from recent OTAs, sources note how Brad Holmes lit up when watching this veteran's hand combat drills, remarking to staff that he'd never seen that level of tenacity on tape combined with such refined technique. Some insiders even suggest Ryan Poles whispered the words "difference maker" after he watched the tape, hinting that the front office is prepared to prize performance over price. And, make no mistake, this move would reverberate far beyond contract figures. Fans would feel it in their bones, as season tickets fly off the shelf and Ford Field awakens to a new era of defensive dominance. Imagine veteran Lions linebacker Alex Anzalone rallying the huddle with renewed confidence. Young stars like Josh Paschal finding that extra gear knowing help is patrolling the edge, and the entire secondary breathing easier as opposing quarterbacks hesitate, knowing pressure can come from anywhere. But let's name him now. Trey Hendrickson, the Warrior whose relentless motor produced 74 quarterback pressures last season and whose savvy finesse moves made him a nightmare for offensive tackles league-wide. Could his addition finally give us the shutdown pass rush we've craved? Of course, questions linger. Will his surgically repaired shoulder withstand the grind of an 18-game slate, and can Detroit's top-tier medical staff sustain his peak conditioning? Past scenarios tell us caution, but this organization's track record with reclamation projects, from Darius Slay's resurgence to Romeo Okwara's breakout, suggests they've mastered the art of optimizing veteran talent. Picture the emotional crescendo when Hendrickson lines up opposite Aiden Hutchinson on opening night, two relentless hunters flanking the pocket, each play a statement that Detroit isn't just back in contention, it's imposing its will on the league. Envision the buzz on social media when he eclipses the 10-sack mark before Halloween, or when he forces a fumble in the waning seconds of a crucial divisional clash, sealing a road victory that sends Motor City into delirium. This signing would mean more than statistics. It would mean vindication for a fan base yearning for proof that this front office understands how to blend smart analytics with raw, passionate grit. It would mean a defense built not just to bend, but to break, forcing opponents to game plan around our newfound edge. And, most importantly, it would mean hope. Hope that this is the defining off-season move that propels the Lions past the first round of the playoffs and deep into January. Now, the only thing left is for Detroit to pull the trigger. Will Brad Holmes seize this opportunity and bring Trey Hendrickson roaring into Honolulu blue? The countdown to that blockbuster announcement is ticking, and every second brings us closer to a transformational moment. How loud will Ford Field erupt when the deal becomes official? Keep your eyes glued to Lions News Fan Report, because when that news drops, you'll want to be front and center for the celebration of Detroit's defensive rebirth.